It's all about hooking them with the name. So let's see. So I don't know if did you check out the agenda? Did you see it? So the way I'm going to be doing a lot of these sessions is just kind of like with a scenario, and then ideally like play with it in the session. So next time you come, bring your computer because you can kind of play along as you go. But you know, the scenario is one that I see with a lot of people, and that kind of get Canvas and they're using kind of like the basic functionality, but not necessarily all the full features, and you feel like you can have your students see what your students in Canvas see can be enhanced a bit to help better engage them and maybe dig a little deeper. You also get really tired of having to upload the same assignment every time each year, and wish there was a way to streamline that process. So then I have tiered kind of tasks that are progressively a bit more complicated. Sounds like you've kind of dabbled a little bit in the harder one, but so one of the first tasks is really just to know all the different ways that you can embed video, for example. So you can insert video, so you could take a source online. You could also embed it. So say you're on YouTube, you could embed the code right here. So when you're in YouTube and you find a YouTube video that you want to share.
Hey there, thanks for watching this
don't watch it.
video on.
You go to share. You can give like the embed code. So here you could copy that. Come here and insert that video. You could do it that way. You could also go to YouTube and search for the video and find it that way. You can also upload media or record media right then and there. So if you have an audio file or a video file, you could select that on your desktop and add it right then and there. You can also give instructions. So keep in mind the rich text editor is something you see in discussions, in announcements, in quizzes. So what you can do any of this, anything in Canvas. But say the record media can be helpful where maybe as part of an announcement or a sub-plan, you want to just record yourself giving the instructions. You could just right then and there record the video giving them the description. Maybe there's a special way that you say something rather than wanting to write it out, right? So you have those options. Let's see, for your context, you probably wouldn't use the math, but if you wanted to mix it up, it does have a math equation generator. The external tools, on the topic of videos, I think you had come to a session before where I talked about ARC. So this is also how, if you're going to upload a video, you can use ARC, and then you can know if students are actually watching the video in another session. Say what you want to embed is a Google Doc. So you can go to more external tools and select Google Apps. And if you've linked your Google account, which most people have, this then allows you to search your Google Drive folder. And so any document that you have, you could then embed. And what is it? Choice PD is what it's called. So here's my agenda for today. Now I can either just link it, it should be a hyperlink, or I can hit embed. And now my Google Doc is embedded in the assignment. So now if I make any edits on that document in Google Docs, it automatically live updates. So this is great for everything from like your syllabus each year. You could have your syllabus on Google Docs, have the Google Doc embedded on your home page, and then each year all you really have to do is change the date. Sarah's joining. Hi, Sarah.
Okay.
You can go ahead and mute your audio, and I'll share my screen now here. There, can you see my Canvas page now?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so I was just showing how to embed, and Sarah, I think you might know how to do this, but how to embed a Google Doc within, say, an assignment or a page using the rich text editor. Basically, I just went to Google Apps, and I found the document that I wanted, and then I selected the embed option. And once I do that, then the document is embedded in the assignment. So if I then hit save, oh, there we go. Yeah, so what I was saying is, the text editor, that generic box, is the same thing you see for discussions, for quizzes, announcements, all those things. So now this can be helpful because now the students can see a document without having to click on it and leave Canvas. They can see it all within, whatever the assignment is. I also showed how to embed a video. So the more advanced option is HTML editor. So when you click on this, now you start getting into kind of coding language. But if you go somewhere where you can get some code, so I showed earlier how in YouTube you can get the embed code, or I have some code, right here. This is an embed code from a Flipgrid assignment. So I copied that here, and so now all I have to do is say copy, go to my assignment, and I can paste that code, and then I go back to the rich content editor, and now the Flipgrid page is embedded as well. So it's like having it's kind of Inception, right? It's a web page within the web page. So you can have students interacting with a website that you've embedded within your assignment. So if you start looking for embed codes,
they can't actually click on those things, right? I mean,
yeah, they can.
They can?
Uh-huh.
So right there, they can do that. Okay.
Yep. So, so, it just starts to open up other ideas once you start realizing that embed codes are becoming a bit more common. Yeah. Do you have a question?
Yes. Can you show me again how to make the Flipgrid into a assignment?
How to embed?
Yeah, Flipgrid into an assignment.
Well, so as it relates to Flipgrid, you can actually link your account with Flipgrid. But what I had done is when I was in Flipgrid. So here are like different grids that I've created. And I could either share this whole one or a particular topic. But if I go to share, for example, I have these options right here, and this is kind of the universal sign for copy embed code. So all I have to do is click it, and it says embed code copied. And now I go back to my assignment, and I need to be in the editing mode. And then I would need to, it's taking a second to load. I would basically just click where I want it. I'll go down to the bottom, hit enter a few times. Let's keep going. And then I hit the HTML editor.
Okay.
And then now I just paste that code. And
I still need to go to HTML.
yeah, you still have to go to the HTML editor. Now, if I, without knowing too much about coding, if I wanted to make that box a little bit bigger, I can change it and say, instead of width 800 and height 600, I'm going to make it 800. And now,
But
when
wouldn't that distort it? Don't you want to keep it?
I would keep the same proportions,
Yeah.
whatever it is, and this goes for the Google Doc one as well, any embed. Now when it loads, that Flipgrid embed should be a little bit bigger than the other one. Yeah, see that one's now a little bit bigger. So you can see there that it's, yeah, just a little bit bigger. So those are kind of the little nuggets of how to use the rich text editor. Are there any questions that you have, Suzanne, about rich text editor?
No, I mean, I think that just makes me feel better. I've just been kind of using the same bit of code over and over. I use it mostly just to embed calendars.
Hey-o.
And so being able to take that same, basically I'm taking, I want to make sure the calendar fits, so I can get the embed code pretty easily from Google Docs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the having the proportions right on the page. And so I've just been copying it.
So
from
play
that.
around with, go to the HTML editor and,
Yeah.
and find that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that just makes me feel better that everybody's just faking code.
Yeah, totally. I don't know anything about code, but I fake it
Okay.
for sure. Yeah. You know, and I think the rest of the stuff on the top is pretty straightforward. Like it's kind of typical stuff you'd see in a Google Doc, but those are the features that are most new. Amy,
Or you were demonstrating making an assignment in Canvas?
yeah. Yeah.
Or the doc can?
No, so I'm doing the rich text editor now.
You're doing the what?
The how to do the rich text editor. So here I'll just kind of start over and I'll show you.
No,
Thanks
you
for
don't have
coming.
to start over.
Oh no, I had just kind of wrapped up, so I'll just do the highlight reel for you. Okay. Yeah. So what I was the way I'm going to be doing a lot of these sessions, just so you know, is I'll have kind of like a scenario, right? So the scenario here is like a lot of our staff pretty much have Canvas, but aren't necessarily using all the bells and whistles. And so one of the things that I think could be utilized more is this little box that you see in an assignment or you see in a discussion or anywhere in Canvas, an announcement. It's called the rich text editor.
Okay.
Or rich content editor. It's like all these little icons, right? And so the scenarios that, or the tasks that I designed here are kind of like beginner, intermediate, advanced. And so one of the first things I want people to see is all the different ways they can insert videos. So most people probably use the YouTube feature if they use video. So you could go here and you could search, you know.
Sugar. I'm looking for a YouTube video on some man went through an experiment about eating sugar and how it affected his life.
Eating
Something like that. My student teacher was telling me about it.
effects of eating sugar. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh. No, there we go. Tomorrow's discovery. Okay. So right now I'm basically searching YouTube within it. So I can either do a link or I can embed it. I can make it a small video, a medium video, or a large video.
Oh, okay.
and then boom, there's my video. I could also go to this little icon right here and say insert, edit media. So here I could have taken a URL from YouTube. So on YouTube, I could either snag the URL up at the top, or I could hit share, and I could just copy that URL. It's another way that I could have done it.
Okay.
I also could click on this little embed, and I can copy that little code, and I could put that in right here as well. Now, I don't know if you know this on the topic of a YouTube video. Say you don't want them to watch from the very beginning. You want them to watch from 2 minutes and 14 seconds. If you go to share, you see how right here, how it says, oh, you're at 2:14? So I can check that, and it adds that to the end of the URL. So now when I copy and paste that and put that in,